T-virus in the mansion. Needless to say, I contaminated the train too.
What?
Revenge on Umbrella.
Logan Kenoras, MKUltra prototype, psychic power, psionics, and the first psychic war. Introduction: the genesis of Logan Kenoras. In the darkened corridors of secret government facilities, amidst classified documents and the sound of whispered promises, one name emerges from the shadows: Logan Kenoras. This individual, whose story is shrouded in mystery and intrigue, represents the pinnacle of a covert experiment that sought to create a weapon unlike any other. A weapon born not from conventional arms, but from the very fabric of the human mind. Kenoras, a name whispered among conspiracy theorists and known to those few entrenched in the world of covert operations, was not born into greatness. Instead, he was forged by the very system that sought to control and harness the power of the human psyche. In the wake of the MKUltra program, which sought to weaponize the mind through drugs, mind control, and psychic manipulation, Logan Kenoras became the prototype for the next generation of psionic warriors. MKUltra, the hidden roots. The MKUltra program, shrouded in secrecy, was a CIA-led operation that explored the potential of mind control and manipulation techniques. Its origins traced back to the Cold War, where the U.S. government sought to harness psychic powers, manipulate thoughts, and ultimately control the will of the human mind to secure a tactical advantage in global power struggles. Within this environment, Logan Kenoras was selected to undergo experimental procedures designed to unlock the latent potential within his brain. These experiments involved a series of mind-altering substances, behavioral conditioning, and psychic enhancements, all aimed at awakening powers beyond ordinary human comprehension. Kenoras, a subject of MKUltra's most secretive phase, was subjected to a relentless series of trials, each pushing the boundaries of human endurance, cognition, and power. His journey was one of profound transformation, a process that would shape him into a being far beyond the control of those who sought to manipulate him. The awakening of psychic power. As the experiments progressed, Kenoras' mind began to unlock abilities that defied the known laws of reality. Psionics, mental manipulation of energy and matter, became his birthright, a gift that came at a steep cost. His psychic powers manifested in ways that were both awe-inspiring and terrifying. He could move objects with his mind, influence the thoughts and actions of others, and manipulate the very fabric of space and time. Each day his powers grew stronger, more refined, until they became an extension of his very being. Kenoras soon realized that his psychic abilities were not mere tricks or illusions. They were a part of him, an intrinsic force that set him apart from ordinary humans. With this realization came a profound awareness of the responsibility that such power entailed. The experiments that had once sought to control him had instead transformed him into something greater, something that no one could dominate. But with this power came a dark side. As his abilities expanded, so did the risks associated with them. Kenoras found himself struggling to maintain control over the immense energy flowing through him. The boundaries between his mind and the world around him blurred, and the psychological toll of such power began to erode his sense of self. Yet, within the chaos of his awakening, Kenoras found a new sense of purpose, to break free from the shackles of his creators and shape his destiny on his own terms. Psionics, the weapon of the future. Psionics, the manipulation of psychic energy, is not merely a tool for personal growth, it is a weapon of unparalleled potential. The study of psionics is as old as human curiosity itself, but only in recent decades has it gained recognition as a legitimate field of study. In the case of Logan Kenoras, psionics became not just a personal journey, but a weapon of war. The potential for psychic warfare, where minds are the battlefield and thoughts the weapons, was a vision few could comprehend. Psychic warfare is the ultimate evolution of combat, where the mind becomes the weapon. In Kenoras' case, the capabilities unlocked by the MKUltra experiments gave him the ability to engage in combat on a level that surpassed conventional understanding. He could invade the minds of his enemies, causing psychological torment, altering their perceptions of reality, or even turning their own fears and insecurities against them. No longer bound by physical limitations, the battlefield of the future would be one of thought, intent, and mental manipulation. Kenoras, however, was not the only product of the MKUltra experiments. Other individuals had undergone similar treatments, and as the power of psychic abilities grew, so did the potential for conflict. What had begun as a covert government project to control and shape the human mind was on the brink of becoming a global struggle. A war fought. As not with guns or bombs, but with the most powerful weapon ever conceived, the human mind. The first psychic war, the rise of mental combat. As the various MKUltra prototypes, including Kenoras, grew more powerful, tensions between rival factions began to emerge. The world was on the cusp of a new kind of war, one where nations would fight for dominance over not just territory, but the very thoughts of their citizens. The first psychic war was not a conventional battle. Instead of armies clashing on physical fronts, armies of the mind engaged in an all-out mental struggle, each combatant using their psionic powers to manipulate, control, and dominate their enemies. Kenoras found himself at the forefront of this battle, his immense psychic abilities making him a force to be reckoned with. He became a symbol of the power of the human mind, a living weapon in the midst of a conflict that would change the course of history. The psychic warriors who fought in this war could not be contained by borders or boundaries. They infiltrated the minds of their enemies, sowed confusion, and distorted reality itself. Entire nations became pawns in this new form of combat, and the lines between reality and illusion became increasingly difficult to discern. Kenoras' role in this war was both pivotal and complex. As a product of MKUltra, he was initially intended to serve as a weapon for his creators. Yet, as his powers grew, so did his understanding of the larger implications of psychic warfare. He saw the potential for control, manipulation, and suffering on a scale that was beyond anything he had ever imagined. The more he engaged in the psychic war, the more he began to question his place within it. Was he just another pawn in a game of power and control, or could he shape the outcome of this war on his own terms? As the battles raged on, Kenoras realized that he could no longer remain a mere weapon in the hands of others. He had to confront not just his enemies, but the very system that had created him. Breaking free. The emergence of the mad philosopher. Logan Kenoras' transformation was not just physical or psychic, it was philosophical. As the first psychic war reached its climax, Kenoras began to embrace a new identity, that of the mad philosopher. No longer bound by the constraints of those who had created him, he sought to understand the nature of his powers and their impact on the world around him. He became a thinker, a seeker of truth in a world where reality itself was malleable and subjective. The mad philosopher was a being who understood the fragility of the mind and the dangers of absolute power. Kenoras realized that the war he was fighting was not just one of domination, but of freedom, the freedom to think, to create, and to shape reality itself. He rejected the notion that his powers should be used for control and manipulation. Instead, he sought to use them to dismantle the systems of control that had been imposed upon him and others like him. In this journey of self-discovery, Kenoras became a symbol of defiance, a warrior who fought not with violence but with intellect and conviction. He sought to create a new reality, one where the boundaries of the mind were no longer defined by the agendas of powerful factions, but by the will of the individual. His legacy would not be one of destruction, but of liberation. Liberation from the tyranny of the mind and the oppressive systems that sought to control it. Conclusion: the legacy of Logan Kenoras. Logan Kenoras' journey from MKUltra, prototype to psionic warrior and mad philosopher, is one of profound transformation. His rise to power through the manipulation of psychic abilities marked a new era in warfare and human potential. However, his story is not just one of power and control. It is a tale of self-discovery, of breaking free from the forces that sought to shape him, and of using his gifts to create a new reality. As the first psychic war raged on, Kenoras became more than just a soldier. He became a symbol of resistance, a beacon for those who sought to transcend the limitations imposed upon them. His legacy is one of freedom, individuality, and the belief that the mind is the ultimate frontier, one that can be shaped, bent, and ultimately liberated. In the end, Logan Kenoras is not just a character in a covert government experiment. He is a testament to the potential of the human spirit, the power of the mind, and the ability to shape one's own destiny in the face of overwhelming odds. His story is one that continues to resonate, inspiring those who seek to break free from the confines of their circumstances and create a reality that is uniquely their own.
He's from the future. Some of this.